WWE 2K24 has had a surge of content with the ECW pack. The first ever DLC pack we're getting for this game. Obviously, there's more on the way. However, the next two DLC packs are not too exciting. And like the Jade Cargill stuff with Great Muta and all that, that's months and months away. But still, I was surprised by the amount of things we got. Not just from the DLC itself, but the accompanying patch 108. Which, what happened to patch 107, by the way? Can somebody tell me? This thing really just breathed new life into this game just because of CM Punk, man. Don't get me wrong, the rest of the DLC is super cool, and I will talk about it in a second, but let's talk about CM Punk first. I played WWE 2K24 when it came out for a couple of days, and then after that, I completely gave up on the game because I just think fundamentally the game is heading to a wrong direction. You look at universe mode, when it works, which most of the time it doesn't, it's like Football Manager. But there's a reason why FIFA is a different game and Football Manager is a different game. It's just like you have to go so much into all the details instead of playing the game itself. And when it comes to finally, after hours upon hours of setting everything up and playing the game, it just isn't fun. Because I do enjoy the gameplay itself, don't get me wrong, but like when you do it aimlessly, it just obviously starts to get boring really quickly. Whereas in the past games, like when you look at WWE 12, the universe mode for that was much simpler, simply because the roster was much smaller, for example, and then it gave you like drafts, it set up nice rivalries, gave you interesting cutscenes and stuff for you to do, even if you didn't set it up yourself. Whereas now, again, it's like Football Manager almost. You have to set everything yourself. Like it makes you choose the freaking cutscenes. Like, what are you doing? You already have MyGM mode. By the way, MyGM mode feels like a phone game, and I don't know why they don't do it like on the phones, by the way, because it should be on there, right? You just look at the UI of PNG of wrestlers, and yeah, you can simulate matches or play those matches, but 99% of people who play MyGM don't really do that. Or if they simulate matches, it is like very rarely, just because they're extremely bored and they're looking for anything new at that point. But simulating matches or watching them at all is not even necessary. So again, you can just take out the whole actual gameplay aspect. So then you can easily put it on the phones, right? If you're not gonna see the matches. In fact, if you simplified the matches and presented them in a cooler way, like showing some great highlights, you made a system like that, that would have been even better. But I made all this setup and threw all this criticism in your way just because I'm gonna talk about CM Punk now. He changed everything. He changed everything and made me realize that, wow, like with a good moveset and with a very well done like roster, regardless of everything that I just said and all the game modes, that's not unnecessary, but a little less necessary, because like I so far have had 30 matches with CM Punk, I think, and I've not gotten bored of playing as this dude because he just has so many unique moves. And oh my god, like all of the animations look so good. And if you've been following me for a while, I wanted that new GTS animation for the life of me. And we got it, man. We got the new GTS animation. The whole thing, the setup to it, how fast it is, the way CM Punk delivers it, the way the opponent sells it, the way you can go ahead and go for the cover, like everything looks perfect about the animation. I love it. And obviously, you can go ahead and cut someone from the top rope and do a catching finish in that manner, or you can actually use the catching finisher mechanic. So there is many ways you can get to the GTS animation too, so it just gives you more of an opportunity to come up with cooler sequences. Then he has like 3 different animations for the Shining Wizard, right? He has the Shining Wizard, and then that's it. He just lets them go, and you know, it sets the opponent for a completely different move. He has the Shining Wizard into a clothesline, so he can go ahead and do the elbow drop. He has the Shining Wizard into the Bulldog, so he can go for the cover. And if the opponent kicks out, man, you can go ahead and hit that GTS pose and hit him with the GTS. There you go, or at least try. And guess what? If you want to do more taunts, he has like 6 new taunts in addition to all the old, I think, straight edge or whatever taunts he had in the game. When it comes to moveset and literally everything else, CM Punk is like the richest out there. And that's what makes him extremely fun to play. And this reminds me of like the amount of custom moves that people had in AEW Fight Forever or SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, right? Like even the way The Rock stood in that game was completely different. Then he had all like, if he did a suplex in Here Comes the Pain, he did it in his own way, right? And here in this game, it's the same for CM Punk. Like, imagine if every single wrestler was like this as well. Like, every single wrestler was this detailed with this insane amount of animation. It would make the game 10 times more entertaining to play for a while. Obviously, you need those game modes, like I said, because the Steam is gonna run out quickly regardless. But man, maybe it's also because we miss CM Punk, right? He's been gone for so long, especially from a WWE game, that yeah, being able to play as him after like 10 years, yeah, because the last game he was in was 2K15, which, by the way, model-wise, graphics-wise, it looks better, and I think moveset-wise and everything else-wise, he blows his AEW Fight Forever version out of the water, because I still haven't spoken about his entrances. He has 2 entrances, one normal entrance, one title entrance. They got the CM Punk chants in the game now, so the crowd chants it during his entrance, or, you know, while he's warming up and waiting for his opponent. Sometimes they chant it there. It's very good. They've added so many commentary lines, you know, CM Punk versus Stone Cold, Undertaker, John Cena. Everything is so cool. Like, they worked so hard to make CM Punk the best that he could be. Like, I give 2K nothing but kudos. The only negative I can find in the CM Punk DLC is the fact that when he enters, like, he does his entrance, he's very much stone-faced, and he doesn't do anything. He doesn't scream too much besides the beginning and the very end of the entrance, where, you know, in real life, CM Punk is always maybe angry, maybe smiling, maybe riling up the crowd. He's always more active with his faces, and that's missing in the DLC. But other than that, man, it's incredible. And, you know, this is, so far, I've talked about what 2K has done. By the way, he has a victory animation and then a title victory animation too. So that's like 4 separate animations just for CM Punk only. And again, this is 2K. You look at the community and specifically what's the status. You got so many versions of CM Punk. Every single version, as a matter of fact, man. You got the ECW version with the long hair, with the short stubble. Or, you know, when he just debuted in the main roster. You got the 2011 CM Punk with the Nexus look, or with the Straight Edge Society, long hair, long beard, the mask, if you want that one exists as well. You got 2014 CM Punk when he's in the, you know, run of his life. Oh wait, no, the WWE Championship run was ended by then. But hey, you still have the, you know, crazy CM Punk WWE champion. You have him with the white t-shirt when he was, you know, going up against John Cena at the Money in the Bank. You have many, like, basically all versions of AEW CM Punk, you know, bald, long hair, long beard, during the period of time where he had the feud with MJF, if I believe. And I gotta say, that one looks the best to me. It almost looks like an official DLC level good. Like, I just love the hair and the beard, the way they connect. And I'm a fan of, as you can see, you know, big beards. I like Roman Reigns when it comes to, like, when he had the goatee, I thought he looked horrible. But when he has the full beard, that's also coincidentally when he became the tribal chief and one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. So, man, like, full beards, come on, yeah. You know, they're too strong. But yeah, that's all about CM Punk, man. Like, that's all about CM Punk. I did mention Roman Reigns just now. We actually have, like, for MyFaction, the Man Bun Roman Reigns, a model imported from the MyRise mode. So it's not too much work for 2K. But yeah, you can get Man Bun Roman Reigns as a Persona card, or, like, they didn't even announce this, we casually had to find out ourselves, Rock 2024, which, by the way, is just an attire change. He does not really have, like, the new theme song and the new entrance. It is still a Persona card, and it is also extremely hard to get unless you go to community creations and type what's the status, because apparently he did it too. Like, he modified the Rock's entrance, he got the tattoo on there too, he did literally everything. Wasn't he just banned for similar reasons to this? I don't understand this ban situation anymore. Well, just Brian, shout out to him. He said that the Rock you're seeing right now, that what's the status just published today as of me recording this video, he just edited the in-game Rock, and he didn't touch anything like MyFaction related. But, by the way, people are not liking MyFaction because of the reason I stated, because it's impossible to get the Persona cards. Like, you would think 2K would put them in a sort of a challenging tower mode, but something you could do in a day or two. But nah, these are like impossible odds. You have to spend an insane amount of money to ensure you're gonna get this Rock, or you have to grind this game mode for, you know, an entire day, 12 hours a day, every day. So maybe you can get this version of the 2024, you know, version of the Rock, which obviously is not gonna sit well with everybody, but I mean, this is MyFaction, right? You know, that's the intent of 2K. Like, they're gonna keep making this work. So I'm just saying this Just so you can prepare yourself, if you haven't yet, emotionally. And don't get blindsided in the future when 2K is going to become even more aggressive with this crap. But yeah, the reason I guess What's the Status isn't getting banned, even though he's doing all these things, changing up his entrance and all that crap, is because he's not messing with the MyFaction stuff. But other than that, we had barbed wired baseball bats introduced, which is basically like a normal baseball bat. The same animations. I would have hoped we would at least get like 99% of chance of bleeding when you get hit with that barbed wire, you know, to make that weapon at least a little bit more special. We get doors. Doors, yes, doors. That work like tables basically, but you cannot just set them up like tables because obviously they got nothing to stand on. And then you get light tubes, which are again like they're a cool addition. They break immediately upon the first impact, you know, which is obvious, but there could have been more effects. It could have looked more beautiful, especially because when you set fire to the tables, when you set them on fire, like the fire effect, the VFX for that looks incredibly good. So maybe if they keep the light tube and maybe the barbed wire bat until next game, maybe then we will see, you know, what I just told you guys, like better VFX for the light tube and the barbed wire, maybe with different animations and making people bleed much easier than any other weapon in the game. I think that'd be really sweet. And I don't think it's particularly a tough task to pull off. So hopefully 2K does that. They might even do it in this game because they've updated a whole bunch of entrances, like 2 people from Gallus, you're seeing them right now. They updated their singles entrances. They added a whole bunch of tag team entrances, not only in patch 1.8, but like we got Chelsea Green and Piper Niven with you know, an actual tag team entrance. We got Isla Dawn and can't remember her name, the girl with the red hair. They didn't have an actual entrance, man. Like, it was crazy, actually. A lot of people were disappointed to see that. And well, now they have their own entrance animation. You got Karrion Kross with his face from the last game now. They kind of went back on his face. His hair is still the same. Like, it's not long as it is right now. They didn't go that far as to updating him. And they say like they've done a whole bunch of fixes, which I'm sure some of them are really good. Some of them actually work, but like nothing major. And like if they say fixed universe mode, added a couple of things to it in this patch, it still doesn't matter because they've had around 10 years to fix this mode and they haven't done it yet. So like I'm not expecting a patch 1.8 to fix anything really, when that mode is fundamentally it just doesn't make sense in my humble opinion. But still, kudos to 2K because this amount of content for the DLC itself and the patch following that is like way more than I expected. I only wish that AEW Fight Forever could follow the example, but hey, that's a whole nother topic. Other than that, man, you have like the Sandman, and if you watch the trailer, you know he smashes the can on his face, but obviously there's no blood in that trailer. But if you have blood enabled in 2K24 and you watch his entrance, when he smashes the can on his face, this is what happens as you're seeing right now. And someone, Joe Mashups, I believe, he basically used the same entrance for John Moxley, which I thought was pretty smart, pretty funny, that guy, yeah. And one thing that would have been cool is, yeah, like if Sandman came out from the crowd, that would have been cool. I wish that was in the DLC. I was hoping for it, but yeah, that's not the case. He always walks down the aisle. And Terry Funk has a couple of stunner animations. I like that. And the Dudley Boys, I love the pop-up Bubba Cutter from Bubba Ray Dudley. It's amazing. They have their own entrance, they have their tag team entrance, they have their tag team celebration and, you know, championship celebration, and then their own championship tag team entrance as well. So Dudley Boys have gotten a lot of love from the 2K devs as well. The 3D animation looks nice. They have all their crazy unique moves in the moveset too. And What's the Status has also created like, you know, Brother Devon, right? Testify. Or like the Bubba Ray Dudley from Aces and Eights, Bully Ray, I believe. And if you look at his face right here, like he looks way better than his, you know, supposedly Attitude Era actual DLC model. Because I think they scanned them recently. And even though they scanned them recently, they're giving us, again, Attitude Era Dudley Boys, and just like not Devon, but Bubba Ray Dudley specifically looks just way too old, and his hair looks weird and stuff like that too. But you know, if you look at it right here with the Bully Ray gimmick, where he's supposed to be actually older looking, I think it just works 10 times better, and like the model just looks impressive. But yeah, that's one thing I give kudos to 2K for, not just for the amount of content we've gotten with this DLC and the patch. But like even back then with like Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, right? They were in the game just a couple of years ago. Well, they told us they were going to be DLC. That's kind of, you know, messed up, right? Why are they DLC? But then once they brought them into the game or brought them back, like they really did a good job. Like gave them a whole lot of new moves, not only new animations, good looking, you know, great looking models, great entrances. So at least when you pay for the DLC, we can talk about it if it's overpriced or if it's worth it or not. But I think they do give, in my opinion, good enough quality. Just like how, you know, they brought back the guest referee match type this year. Like, yeah, it was in the games before, but at least when they brought it back, like, they've added so much more to the mode instead of just bringing it back, like, exactly the same as it was in the past. That's good, and we have to, you know, make sure to hold 2K responsible and accountable for that. So, because if we give an inch, they're gonna take a mile, and they're gonna get lazier and lazier because, hey, if you work less and get more money, you know, that's like, if it's not broken, don't fix it type of mentality, right? Why wouldn't you go ahead and start kinda tuning down the quality a little bit? But that's all. I know I was late to the party, and so I wanted to make a video where I just talked about everything that happened, kind of a roundup situation. I hope you enjoyed it. Right now I mainly cover wrestling video games and wrestling itself, so check out more wrestling out here. But if you're interested in any other type of video game, sometimes anime, I dip into those as well from time to time. So hey, basically, if you want to subscribe, give me a like, anything to really support me would be much appreciated. That being said, take care of yourself, man, okay? Because I'm getting out of here.